Hey guys, it's Sierra and welcome back to my channel where we speak about all things makeup and skincare.
I was kissing you with my eyes open, but you said keep them closed and be in the moment.
So today we're gonna be breaking down the Amazon favorites airbrush machine, okay? If you wanna know how I feel about this device, just keep on watching. I don't even wanna go any further than that. Cue the transition. Is that a wrinkle? I'll handle you later. Today we're gonna be trying out this makeup airbrush system that I bought off Amazon thanks to Storm Blake. I will leave her video down below where she demonstrates how to use this device. However, I watched this video many months ago and I have no idea how to actually use it, okay? So I'm gonna wing it. It's what I'm gonna do, you know, Sierra the wing-it-er. So this is what the component looks like. Look at that. Okay, it looks kind of fancy schmancy. It looks like it comes with 3 parts. We've got a, what is this? We've got a squeezy tube, and then we've got the gun itself. And the reason why I want to do like this, and I didn't really want to look at like directions and stuff, but I want to see what it would be like if you just bought it and you didn't really know what you were doing. So I'm doing it like that, okay? I'm gonna open. Now we've got a cord. It's like a silicone cord. We've got a battery plug, which are all tied. And then we've got the device itself, which is wrapped like this. Can you guys see that? I'm gonna take the wrapping off. I did buy it in black, by the way. They do have multiple colors. They have red, pink, black. I thought black for me really worked, you know? I don't like the color pink, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a pink person. So, boom. I'm not reading any directions yet, by the way. I'm just gonna go off of like what a person would do if they watched my video and they bought this, right? They'd just be like, let's try to figure it out. And then towards the end, they probably like look at some directions real quick, you know? Okay, so this definitely goes in here because there is a hole. Plug it in, plug it in. Plug it in, plug it in. Right, we are plugged. It will turn green, just so you know, when you plug it in, right? To be honest, I think it might be a little bit easier for me to figure this out because my mom has been airbrushing her face for like 4 years at this point. So I've seen this thing sitting on her vanity for so long, or this type of device for so long. I'm like, oh, I get it. It totally works like my mom's. So that might be a little bit of the reason why I'm just like winging it too. Thanks, Mom. Shout out to you. Ow, I just smacked myself in the face with a freaking... Okay, now we need to really read. Okay, so this airbrush machine can be used for cake decoration, for body tattoo, for tanning, if I don't need to do that. But you could if you want to. The specifics are that it has 3 gears. We'll get into that in a minute. We'll see where the gears are. Please hold. This is a little bit more complicated than I thought. So I'm back and I kind of figured out some things because I was a little bit confused for a second. So there is remember the rubber we were talking about earlier? You stick it into one side and then you put it towards the bottom of this device as well. And then this device has an on and off button on the top and it has 3 different modes. So you see that it'll go from purple to blue to red. It goes from low, medium to high. Okay, we figured that out. Now it says to prime the device with 5 drops of warm water. We're not even gonna fake the funk. I got this right out of my fridge. Okay, so you pull back this trigger right here. I don't want to dump all the water out, but there's a trigger right here. You pull it back, and if you see, I hope you can, you'll see the water shooting out of the device. Now, I want to mess with this thing because I want to see when I go up. Okay, that's giving me more pressure. Low gives me a much better handle. So what I would do if I'm doing makeup is probably do it on low or medium. I don't think I would do it on high because I think that would cause too much blotchiness. So we're gonna go ahead and pull up some makeup. But before we do that, let's prime our face. I'm gonna be using the Tatcha Liquid Canvas. The only thing that I have on my face right now is the Fenty sunscreen. And this is gonna be great because I really do wanna see how the Fenty sunscreen works underneath makeup. Let's find some foundation. Which foundation? We don't wanna go expensive because we don't know how this is gonna work. We wanna go cheap. I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover. This also has sunscreen in it. This is one of my favorite drugstore foundations, by the way. If you guys have not tried this, I don't even know if they even have this anymore, but I will leave a link down below if they still even make this. This is an amazing foundation. Y'all are sleeping on this girl right here, okay? And the reason why I'm gonna use it also is because it has a dropper. You see that? Being smart about it. And we are going to put, we're gonna put about 3 drops. You see how liquidy it is too? I was like, I need something liquidy, I need something cheap. Cheap. Let me zoom you guys in. All right, guys, you are in all of my business, in all of my pores. Hi, how are you? Let's do this thing. Oh gosh, my mom does this all the time, and her makeup always looks so good. Let's see. Okay, it's working.
Okay with me. Okay, okay, okay. And that's okay with me. Okay, okay, okay.
I have this on the highest setting, by the way, because when I had it on the lower settings, I literally didn't see anything happening on my face, which I'm kind of concerned about because I don't know if that means that I'm gonna get blotchiness. This actually feels pretty relaxing, to be honest. So once it kind of is like getting low, you hear that? Do you hear the sputter? Okay, that means that we need to add more foundation into the device. I'm understanding it now. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now after I applied the foundation. Now, remind you that this is my first time ever using an airbrush machine, and you know, I can see parts of my face where I did go a little bit more heavy, especially like in this area. So what I'm gonna do is kind of just even this out a little bit, but it's okay, I have to put concealer on anyway. But let me finish the rest of my face and then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts on this here device, okay? Okay guys, I am back and this is the final look. I'm gonna leave you guys zoomed in so you can see my skin. As you can see, it didn't cover up this spot that I have right here, which is totally fine. If I really wanted to spot conceal that, I would have, but I didn't, okay? Because it's not that serious. So I'm gonna show you guys how to clean this device as well because I'm gonna clean it anyway, so I might as well just do it on camera. What it says to do is apply 8 drops of water into the device, which is what this little dropper is for. Okay, so I already applied the 8 drops of water. Then it says to turn on the device and put your finger over the nozzle of this device, right? So we're gonna do that and pull back this throttle at the same time so that this would create little bubbles. Oh, yep, and I don't know if you can see it, but maybe you can. Can you see that it's creating bubbles? And then blow out all the water afterwards. So I got a paper towel so we can blow out all the water. Now you can see there's still a bunch of product inside of here. What it says is to use a Q-tip and clean out the rest of this bowl, I guess you would call it. So I'm just going to use a Huggies wipe first to get some of it out. And then I'll grab a Q-tip to get the rest of it out. Okay, so what I did was I followed the directions and it explains to basically take this thing apart to really clean it on the inside. Now you can see it's not totally clean, but it's pretty clean. What I did was I used the method that they said to do at first, right? And I noticed that the inside wasn't getting clean enough. So now you can see it's pretty clean, but it wasn't getting clean with that whole method of just going ahead and putting a couple drops of water and shooting the water out on a paper towel. It didn't work for me anyway. I still saw a lot of residue inside of this here dome. So it also has a way of cleaning the device totally, which it says not to do it every time you use the device. You don't have to clean it out every single time, but I did want to just see how it would work. And what you would do is you would take this bolt and you would just lightly loosen it Then you would take this other bolt and you would unscrew that, and then you would slip this needle all the way out. You would then clean this needle off with a damp paper towel, and then you would also clean this inside with a Q-tip. Then you put it back together, sliding the needle in without twisting anything, making sure that it's going straight in, which it's not doing. Okay, let's see if that's correct. I don't feel like it is. So I'm gonna slide this part back on. I'm then gonna take the back part. I'm going to make sure this bolt is tightened again. I'm gonna make sure the other one is tightened also. Close it back. And we're gonna pray that I've done this correctly. I've clearly put this thing together wrong. I had to literally sit here for about 20 minutes trying to figure out what I did wrong as far as taking this thing apart. Now, I did clean it, but then I had to do a test to make sure that it was actually working again, because taking this thing apart and putting it together was a little bit stressful for me. So as you can see, again, it is dirty. Okay, so I wasted a lot of my time. Now, the issue that I had with as soon as I slipped this needle out, this throttle right here got real wonky. This throttle, it didn't feel as tight, I guess if you could say that, as it did when I first used this device. So I knew instantly that something was off. It still doesn't feel the same way that it felt when I first used the product. So I need to go back in and kind of mess with it a little bit more. But when I did do the test run of making sure that it actually is workable, it does work still, okay? If that makes sense. I know that something must be a little bit off, but the device still works. So here are my final thoughts on this product right here. I'm gonna get more information on this product from the actual manufacturer, because what I think is that, you know, I would say that, you know, I'm not a dumb girl, you know what I mean? And I would say that as far as taking this product apart, putting the needle back in, taking the needle out, something happens with that trigger part, and this could be a little bit of an annoyance if that's how I have to clean this thing, and then make sure that you basically have to make sure that all of the pieces align, so that when you take this needle out, when you put it back in, you're going through all of the holes again to make sure that it works properly. If that makes sense, you need to go through this trigger hole, you need to go through all of this stuff, and then you need to make sure that it fits properly. Yeah. I like the way that it applied my foundation. That's off the bat. I do like the application. Now, when it comes to cleaning this thing, this is the first time I've ever used an airbrush machine. I do know that with a lot of airbrush devices, they can be a little tricky cleaning this out, but I don't have the time. I do not have the time, and I do not want a device that is so hard to kind of put back together. That's how I feel this thing is. I feel that this is a little bit hard for me to put back together. I still don't know if I have it together correctly. So it's $46 on Amazon. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm gonna leave the link down below, but this is one of those, I'm sure that I could find something that works better for me as far as an airbrush machine, okay? Even if I had to buy an airbrush machine for $100, but I knew that it was gonna work and I wouldn't have to go through all of these issues trying to put it back together, I would do that. So my final thoughts are, if you're a baller on a budget and you wanna mess around with this thing, go ahead, but be really careful when it comes to disassembling this thing and putting it back together, because I did have a struggle and I mess around with devices and makeup all the time. I'm gonna reach out to the manufacturer. I'm gonna leave it pinned down below whenever they get back to me, and let you guys know if this is a problem that a lot of other people are having, if it's just a me problem. I do think that when I went to put this thing back together, off of their instructions, right here in this here manual, it did not work. If you look at it, look, there's, I don't know what I did. It shouldn't be like that, right? Okay, those are my final thoughts, guys. It's most likely a pass. Everything I will leave linked down below once I get the information. If I can find a better one, I will also, of course, either do a review on it or pin it down below as well. But this is a, okay, Okay, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for sticking it out with me. Thank you guys for watching me try to figure this thing out for about an hour. And I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out, guys.